There is something terribly wrong with the world today. No means of information receiving by the public has been legitimate for what seems to be years. When was the last time anything we were told by any form of media been true? Sure, gravity's a thing. Yeah, okay. Sweet. I jump, I fall. Okay. Do we really know what's going on in any other country on the planet? Do they even know what's going on in their own country? How do we know that our local news is telling us the truth? There's no way for us to be certain that that accident that happened down the street happened unless we go see it. So when we're told about something going on somewhere else in the world, there's no way for us to verify it tangibly. Especially when people who are doing independent recording, people, me, you, anybody, on the ground, taking recordings with their phone, camcorder, that information is being removed as quickly as it can be introduced. Why? Why? At what point does all the information that people believe become false? How long has that been the intention? At what point will we be able to discern the difference between reality and fiction, if at all? Is there a way for us to verify with certainty exactly how valid the information we're receiving is from either side? Right? Left? Liberal? Conservative? Alternative? Or mainstream? The more sources you can cross-reference that agree, the more valid something seems, which would explain why all of the major news outlets are in lockstep with one another. But if that's exactly what they figured out people were doing, then all they have to do is agree on everything they produce, even if it's false. This is disheartening for someone seeking truth, especially when it comes to the truths of the universe, the truths of humanity, the truth of our world as it is today. Those seeking truth may not have a valid source from which to seek it. Who creates the information? Where does it come from? Is it fabrication entirely? Or is there some merit depending on where you go, where you look? Do you believe the news, or do you believe the people you speak to, who may have been programmed? There's no way of us discerning what is and is not fact or fiction any longer. Most people don't trust media in general, social, mainstream, or otherwise. It appears that people are so disillusioned with the world that they're completely contented working a dead-end job for 40 years, at the end of which they don't even get to retire. We're not living in a world where personal agency seems to hold the primary grounds by which we build society, but rather personal subjugation, where an individual censors themselves and those around them. For what end? What are we fighting against? I say what because there's no way a who could be behind it. Even if that who happens to be completely off their rocker. Nothing that's happened in the last 6 weeks makes any sense at all. Nothing. Donald Trump in the debate failed miserably. He did. When everybody was under the assumption that he was going to tear into Hillary Clinton, and that's why there was so much media coverage. There were so many people watching that debate. Why did he fail so miserably? Why? And then, sources that are supposed to release information have failed to do so. People who are known for releasing crucial information that's necessary for the public to make a discernment about whether or not they need to restructure their government and the corruption within those governments, failing to do their job. Journalists who don't even do their jobs. False realities upon false realities within false narratives upon false realities. At what point do we start making tangible difference in our personal lives on a very basic, fundamental level? At what point do we actually stand up against the oppressive forces on this planet and make a difference for ourselves and our loved ones? Because regardless of whether everything we're told is a lie or not, what we can do for ourselves and our families is incredibly important. Everything from growing a home garden to installing solar panels. The more removed we can be from the grid, the more we can unplug from the matrix, the more our lives and the lives of those around us will be improved. This is not hyperbole, this is not a metaphor, this is the only discernible fact. When we can tell that the matrix itself is a lie, we have to remove ourselves from it. The world we live in is not what it seems by any short measure. And what we're told is the reality. Is not so strange as reality actually is. The use of your mind and your body to promote a better future for yourselves and those around you should be the primary objective of every individual on this planet. Armed revolution would always be a last resort, but it appears that that is exactly what the powers that be desire. Falsified information, dichotomies, hypocrisy, fallacy, designed to upset and polarize the population into a form of civil war, more than likely on a global scale. I do not see a way to avert this end result. However, on a personal level, protect yourself, protect your family, produce your own food. What are we supposed to do? At what point can we let the world know that we are not slaves? How do we tell the world that personal agency is the epitome of human existence?